Well, did you have fun while you were gone?
That's what we were trying to do, because I knew she'd be out and couldn't be sending them out last week. So if I got them out early. And August is still kind of iffy, whether or not we'll have a meeting. I probably will.
Call to order the Planning Commission meeting of July 17th, 2018. We have a roll call, please.
Chair Dinan,
Here.
Vice Chair Ball,
Here.
Commissioner Stewart,
Here.
Commissioner Hughes,
Here.
and Commissioner Fenrich. And in the audience, we have Commissioner Link.
Thank you, Jen. Any planning commissioner or member of staff who has a direct conflict of interest in any scheduled agenda item to be considered is to declare their conflict at this time. Hearing none. At this time, members of the public may comment on any item not appearing on the agenda and within the subject matter jurisdiction of the Planning Commission Board. Individual comments will be limited to a maximum of 5 minutes per person, and each person may speak once during this time. Time cannot be yielded to another person. Under state law, matters presented during the public comment period cannot be discussed or acted upon. For record purposes, state your name and city of residence. Please make your comments directly to the Planning Commission Board. We have any public comments from the audience? Moving on to the consent calendar. All items listed on the consent calendar are to be acted upon by a single action of the Planning Commission Board unless otherwise requested by an individual Planning Commissioner member for special consideration. Otherwise, the recommendation of staff will be accepted and acted upon by roll call vote. Item 2.1, posting of the agenda. The agenda for the July 17th, 2018 Planning Commission meeting was posted on the City Community Center Bulletin Board, City Hall North and South Bulletin Boards, Post Office, City website, and emailed to the library on July 3rd, 2018. Item 2.2, approval of the agenda. This provides an opportunity for the Planning Commissioner or staff to recommend that an item be placed on the agenda for discussion or to adjust the proposed agenda to allow an item to be taken out of order. Hearing none, I have a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Move to approve. I second.
Janet?
Okay. Chair Dinan,
Yes.
Vice Chair Ball,
Yes.
Commissioner Stewart,
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes,
Yes.
and Commissioner Fenrich. Okay, that passes 5-0.
Public hearing presentations, item 3.1. Downtown Specific Plan Amendment number 2018-01. Donna?
Okay. Oh, there it is. Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. Okay, so this is a follow-up to our last meeting where we had a discussion on specific plan signage downtown and how we could better help the business community to get more notice on their businesses. As we had discussed, the current regulations, there are permitted sign types of wall signs, awning, projected and blade, window, marquee, and monument. What the businesses downtown were interested in, though, is more of the A-frame type signs. So most of our discussion last meeting involved discussing those types of signs. This is a couple examples of an A-frame sign. Right now, the downtown businesses are allowed one A-frame sign in front of their business as long as it does not block the sidewalk or pedestrian path of travel. What came out of our discussions was perhaps another sign that each business could have one directional off-site A-frame sign that would either be located on Atchison, which is Highway 108 between 1st and 4th Street, or Patterson Road between 1st and 4th Street. That directional signage could have the business's name and/or logo and some directional arrows to, get people to change their path of travel and come downtown and check out the businesses.
Let me interrupt you for a second.
Yes,
You said on Patterson, you said first and third, or it says first and third. Did you mean first and fourth?
it says 1st and
Fourth
3rd.
on Atchison and first and third on Patterson, or first and fourth?
1st and 3rd, there is no, 4th doesn't connect with Patterson. 1st, 3rd, and 8th Street connects. So it seems like it would make sense to have the signs closer to where they could actually turn. So I did prepare language, which is an attachment to the proposed city council ordinance. You have it both in redlined and underlined, as well as the actual ordinance itself that would permit that one sign per business. But since we had our last meeting, the city manager had gotten more contact from a council member or two who still express interest with the Parks and Recreation Director of having an electronic sign. We did discuss electronic signs, and it seemed as though the Planning Commission had some concerns with whether or not it could be more historical in architecture that would match some of the buildings downtown. I didn't really get direction to move forward on that, but as this was brought up by some council members, I thought I would bring that back to you. That proposed amendment, if you should choose to support that, would add electronic city signs to our matrix of permitted signs in the downtown. There is a company that the Parks and Rec Director has been having continued contact with. It's kind of a turnkey project where they would build the sign and provide it to the city, and then there would be, I believe, some sort of small fee by the businesses to be able to advertise on it, and that's how this company would get their money for building the sign for us. And so that's what this proposed amendment is about as well, that I was hoping that you would consider tonight. And I'd be happy to answer any questions. Hopefully the language that I brought you is, what you had directed at the last meeting as far as the directional A-frame signs go. But I'd be, happy to make any modifications if I miss something.
Thank you, Donna.
I have a question. On the electronic signs that you just mentioned, would that be a stationary sign or mobile sign? And if it's stationary, where would it be?
It would be stationary, and I did mention in the staff report that the, if it were like at the edge of town on Atchison, that would be the highway corridor zone in the downtown specific plan. And then if there was one closer to the viaduct, there is, let me check that zoning for you real quick. That was, where did I put that? I apologize, I don't see it right off the bat here. Let me look at the ordinance itself real quick. Okay, all right, so it would be, okay, so if it was at the end of Atchison, it would be in the Highway Boulevard zoning district. If it were, say, at the end of 3rd here at Atchison, that would be downtown core. And then if it was over by the viaduct, it would be the Cannery District.
That's right.
But it is specifically marked as a city electronic sign, so developers would not be able to install one.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Donna? Comments? Donna, do we have a description of what are this proposed signage? Do we have pictures that this vendor is providing the city staff?
No, the city, if the city were given the go-ahead to install an electronic sign, we would work with them on the shape, the size, how often the messages would turn over. That's all out there in the future to be worked out.
If we approve this,
You would be approving the notion that one could be placed in the city in these 3 specific zoning districts.
and would the final project be before us, before the city council, or would it go straight to the city council, do you know?
The final design, I believe, would be just directly to the city council.
Can I hear a motion to approve the amendment to the downtown specific plan?
I motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
Janet, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Chair.
Clarify real
okay.
quick, we're approving the resolution recommending approval of the downtown specific plan through the ordinance to the city council. Correct? Okay.
Okay, Chair Dinan,
Yes.
Vice Chair Ball,
Yes.
Commissioner Stewart,
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes,
Yes.
and Commissioner Fenrick? Yes. Okay, that passes 5-0.
Next item is planning commission comments. None on the agenda. Does anyone have any comments they want to? Okay, county referral correspondence information. Again, there's nothing on the agenda. Staff comments, item 6.1, the June 26th city council meeting update.
Thank you. I did take an item to the city council. As you probably know, the city had a 6-month moratorium in effect on additional approvals for cannabis dispensaries. So throughout these past few months, I have been going out to Flavors, which is the only one currently open, and assessing their circulation patterns and their parking on different days of the week and different hours of the day to see what those impacts to the neighborhood might be. All in all, it was a very positive report. But the city council determined that since Flavors had only been open 3 months and Riverbank Wellness has not opened yet, they would like a little bit more time to study those impacts. So they extended the moratorium an additional 6 months, and it's set to expire on December 23rd. So the first meeting in December, I will be presenting them with another report. And my understanding is I think if you have a moratorium that's a year, then it either has to become permanent or expire. But I can check on that for sure. But something in my head makes me think that you can only extend that moratorium one time.
Sounds right, but I'd have to.
But we can follow up on that.
That sounds right, but definitely follow up on it.
And then, okay, so that's December 23rd of 2018. But all in all, it's been going really well. I had met with Chief, and he had done, he's got a program that pulls up all the calls for service that they receive. And he did quite a bit of research on the 82 days before Flavors opened and the 82 days after they had opened. And in the 82 days before they had opened, there was about 140, I believe, calls for service. And then in the days after they had opened, that had actually dropped down into the 90s. And while Flavors had 3 calls for service during those second 82 days, one was for a suspicious vehicle in the neighbor's parking lot, which just turned out to be a Flavors employee's vehicle. They had one vendor's vehicle broken into, and they've changed some of their procedures now, so that can't happen again. And then the third one was a false alarm. And during that time that Flavors had 3 calls for service, there were quite a few of the neighboring properties that had calls for service that weren't related to Flavors. And in fact, O'Brien's Market had 8 calls for service. So I kind of joked with the mayor that maybe I should start watching O'Brien's instead of Flavors. He did find that humorous, but said, don't do that. So that's where we are with that. Riverbank Wellness did receive a building permit, but they, as far as I can tell, haven't started any internal construction yet. So I'm going to give them a call to see if there's anything the city can do as far as, do we kind of wrestle some, cage bars on your contractor? Is, everything okay? Do they have any questions that the city needs to answer before you can move forward, and kind of see where they are with that?
Do you think they'd be ambitious to move?
Oh, I know the ladies, the tenants are, but, with the property owner and the contractor, it could be kind of caught up in that, it's a triangle there, that they try to get this thing moving for them. I might mention on number 8, the adjournment. I originally put that the Planning Commission meeting of September 18, 2018 would be canceled, but there is still a chance we may hold that. One of our consultants is working on a big project, as you know, and I've offered that time period to do a presentation or a workshop if they need that for the process. So I will let you know probably within the next week or so whether or not that meeting will be canceled. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. Great work. Any other comments or questions from the commission? I think we've set a record.
Wait.
Meeting is adjourned.
I was just thinking on this item that we just heard. Did we take public comment?
Oh.
Can we reopen it?
Yeah.
I just thought of that. It's probably a moot point, but it just dawned on me that,
We'll reopen the Planning Commission meeting of July 17th.
thank you.
So we need a motion for reconsideration on the previous item.
I motion to reconsider the downtown specific plan amendment.
I second.
Roll call vote for,
Wait, hold on a second. Why are we reconsidering?
because we have to reopen the item to reopen public, or so you can invite public comment on it.
Get public comment.
So this is just a motion to reconsider.
I need to do a roll call again.
Yes.
Okay, so Chair Dinan,
Here.
Vice Chair Ball,
Here.
Commissioner Stewart,
Here.
Commissioner Hughes,
Here.
and Commissioner Fenrich. Here.
Okay, now do the motion for reconsideration.
Is there any public comment
Oh.
on item?
Wait, no.
Motion reconsider.
Yeah, we need to do a motion to reconsider. Sorry, this is
I motion to
complicated. Thank
reconsider
you.
item 3.1.
I'll second it.
Roll call vote on that.
Okay, I have a roll call vote, Jen?
You're rolling along so smoothly.
I know. Sorry, please.
No, and me too. I
Chair Dinan,
just caught it.
Yes.
Vice Chair Ball,
Yes.
Commissioner Stewart,
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes,
Yes.
Commissioner Fenrich. Here. Yes.
Or aye.
Okay.
Now we should invite public comment on that, if there's any.
Is there any public comment on item 3.1? Hearing none, commission is adjourned.
No, motion to
Motion to approve.
approve the item again now.
I motion to approve item 3.1.
I'll second it.
Hold on, let me write this down for you. Chair Dinan,
Aye.
Vice Chair Ball,
Yes.
Commissioner Stewart,
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes,
Yes.
and Commissioner Fenrich.
Yes.
Now we can adjourn.
We still set a record. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
you
Sorry
all.
about that, you guys. I completely
They're bringing
spaced
it
on that.
back.
Yeah.
It's just,
I'll tell you one thing, we have that roll call
Yeah.
thing now.
Yes.
Silly process.
Well, as long as we can have a chuckle
Yeah,
now
but
and
you could
again.
definitely
still
see the
learning
need
here.
for it, though.
Yeah, totally. If someone out there could challenge it on the.
Yeah,
And they
Exactly.
push back how long?
yeah.
It could.
Yeah, that was 5 minutes. It's going to save us 3 months.
Could have, yeah. Thank you for catching that. I can't believe I was spaced out.
Well, we were rolling along so
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is great.
It seemed like he just going to the next item.
Still did it in 19 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, Donna, is that hotel that was